wash my soul in the ocean, in the tears of God, I let it go.
Hello, my astrology family. This is Lada from astrolada.com, and these are your October 2021 video horoscopes for all the 12 signs. And by the way, October will be a very fascinating month because we have 4 planets turning direct, which is very positive to some extent because it means many areas of your life will start moving ahead in a positive direction without surprises and complications. So we expect a big turn of the winds happening in October. But if you want to have more specific predictions for your personal chart only, you can check for free your personal transits on my free transit calendar. You can see a video out of it here. And each transit is specific for you. No one else in the world will have them at the same time as you. So you can really follow what's exactly happening, like a professional astrologer will do it for you from my transit calendar, which is for free for everyone. And now enjoy the 2021 October videos. First, Sun, Moon, or Rising Tropical Astrology. Use Tropical Astrology for those videos, which is the Western type. Good news. I have a very close friend who is Taurus rising, and from the beginning of the year, she's been in a big conundrum trying to find a job, and she's been having delays, especially since Saturn and Jupiter started turning retrograde in her 10th house, and they've been for a few months there, which is the career. And she asked me, will I? I'm starting to lose hope. And I said, October. Those 2 planets are turning direct in your 10th house of career. You should get it October towards November, the latest, because there is always a huge shift in the area of life that a planet is turning direct. And we have first Saturn on the 11th and then Jupiter on the 18th of October turning direct. So if there were some blockages to your career, to finding a career, to your career prospects, or some delays, or if you've been working on some career project that is very draining and you're still not seeing the results, and you needed a lot of your efforts and editing and fixing and doing it over and over again. Well, when those 2 planets start turning direct, October, even from the beginning of October, from the 9th, 11th, as I said, till the end of October, one after another, the 2 planets turn direct and you start seeing the results of your effort when it comes to your career. If there was a complicated situation with job, with project, or delayed one, or very torturous and hard, again, you get powerful relief. The change of direction, change of winds with some difficult situation there. Or if you've been putting a lot of hard effort in something, you start seeing the results now. Or if you had some complications and problems and very hard responsibilities and duties or obstacles with authority figures, institutions, bosses, father figures, if there was something difficult happening in the life of your father as well, or in your relationship, those things, Saturn and Jupiter start moving direct in your house of authority, and those things get straightened out. Those problems with those institutions, they get weakened, they culminate, they get resolved. There is a big change in the direction there. So hopefully, don't get discouraged if you don't have a job, or if there is some very difficult situation, that things are turning around in October gradually, day by day, little by little. Another thing, around the 11th, when Saturn is turning direct, your planet Venus, because you're Venus, remember, your Taurus ruled by Venus, will be joined with the South Node. This happens once a year only, and it will join with your South Node in your 8th house. So around the 9th, 8th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, while this conjunction is close, you can feel more spiritual. The South Node is very spiritual. You might need time to be alone more, because first of all, it's in your 8th house, which is more hidden house, and South Node is a lonely planet, which is more introspective. You can enter a more introspective state, or that you're kind of examining yourself more spiritually, become a bit like an observer, not so active, withdraw a bit from the world, and just for a little bit observe from outside, like they call it the witness state. And if you're not very spiritual, this might feel like you being a bit lazy or zoning out. So if around the 11th, 10th, 11th, 12th, you might feel like zoned out, maybe you need a little bit this withdrawal. South Node is withdraw from the material world, from the business of life, and just looking a little bit from a higher perspective, and you can have some very powerful downloads, because the South Node opens like portals towards other dimensions, towards the other worlds. And South Node is a headless dragon, so it doesn't perceive with thoughts, it intuitively just downloads information. That's why it's like portals, you just know something. And when it's with your planet, you can have such insights about many areas of your life, but because it's happening in the eighth house, especially around those days, you can have such insights, or, you know, big part of this month, because Venus is with the South Node the whole month in the same month. Big insights about trauma from the past, because it's in the eighth house, about betrayals, about fidelity, about how much can you trust another, and if there's been problems with trusting another and with fidelity, and on eighth house is opening to another. If you might have some deep insights about such traumas that have happened to you, or about intimacy if you have some blockages, through some spiritual work even, or just spontaneous realization. They can be just a little bit of a possibility. Eighth house is money given to others or received from others. Some kind of money can come to you from others that is owed from you from the past, because South Node is connected to the past. Even some kind of an old sexual interest for some of you. You might be thinking about them, or interested in them, or just some they kind of appear towards you, not necessarily in a physical encounter, because South Node is more introspective, more to have some deeper realizations rather than, but there can be some reconnection as well. And there can be some, just be careful with mutual finances and money coming from other. You might be willing more like to give, or you might have to also, you might kind of interestingly enough willingly give up some support that you receive from others. It might be emotional, psychological, or even financial from some outer source. Maybe another person, maybe an institution. You might willingly decide to let go because you realize that this no longer is satisfying your needs, to let go of such support of some sort. But it won't happen easy. Is Venus involved? And you'll be like, I can let go of that. And of course, Venus rules relationships, and it's you. It can, and that's a good time actually for some kind of a detox, because Venus is full of, your Taurus appetites, very attached to the pleasures of the earth. So this month can be easier for you to detach from, especially taste, sex, those kind of things that are more physical in nature. You can detach a little. You can let go of one of those things easier right now, because it's also in the eighth house of big transformations, because you might have some psychological realization that makes it easier for you to let go of some kind of a attachment, especially more sensual attachments, let's say. Okay, and then the other huge focus for the month is your sixth house. Look at that, everything is happening there. There is a new moon on the 6th with Mars and Mercury very close in your sixth house. So I think one of the biggest focus will be for you work. That's another, you see, this is like so big. First of all, the 10th house of career, worldly achievements, worldly responsibilities, things start improving there, moving ahead. And also, Mercury is retrograde till the 18th in your sixth house. So you might be completing some old work project, putting final touches, or just really restructuring and changing something in your work environment that requires extra efforts of you, whether it's learning new skills, or kind of not new skills, but maybe something shifted at your work where you have to put extra effort, mercurial, in learning a software or whatever, or something is rearranging there, or maybe you have a project that you have to redo over and over, or maybe there's some complication, especially till the 18th, and some delay with the work project that you're having. Well, Mercury starts turning direct, and Jupiter at the same time on the 18th of October, and you'll notice such a great relief suddenly. And both are career houses, both are work houses. It's like you can suddenly find a great job, great employee, because sixth house can show that you might have part of September until the 20th approximately of October problems with an employee, problems with employment, problems with the work project, and not necessarily problems, delays, blockages, stresses, because Mars is there, fights possible, you know, or just having to redo something and you get stressed and deadlines there. But around the 18th, 19th, everything really starts sorting itself out. Your efforts start paying. Maybe you find a great job. Maybe you complete the project. Maybe you problems at work get resolved. And the sixth house is sometimes it is connected. It's not sometimes. It's connected to health. So there is a big focus on your health. You might be reevaluating most of October your health habit, your routines. Do you exercise? How you eat? Now is a time if you want to catch the wave and it's easy for you to make that change. October and even part of September at the end is the time to around the 23rd, 24th, I would say the whole October. You can make big changes because first Mercury retrograde makes you reevaluate and might even bring with Mars there some health problems. Your back starts hurting. You're like, I can't do this sedentary job anymore. I have to change something. I need to move more, or some kind of acute condition comes. Also, be careful about the lungs. Mars is with Mercury, which is breathing alveolus is Mercury. Just try to be as healthy as possible October, because there's so much planets in your sixth house, especially if you're Taurus rising and Taurus moon. From the sun sign Taurus, it's not so much about the health always, but from the moon and the ascendant sign, watch it out a little bit. Even make some detox if possible. Venus conjunct the south node will allow it for you because you can detach from those, as I said, um, uh, Venus is detachments to tasty things, to, and in the eighth house of purging, and the sixth house is very strict, very strongly activated, which is again, what is sixth house? Is the Virgo energy to purify, to cleanse. And you can notice that your body is purifying on its own. And when it starts purifying from toxins, what happens? You get the flu, you get the COVID, or whatever it is. You just should know that this is good when you get sick sometimes, because this is your body detoxing. So don't freak out. Just eliminate dairy, meat for a few days. I know for Taurus might be hard, but just go on simple things. This is your whole horoscope is screaming this. And maybe start moving more, going outside, breathing deeper. With Mars, Mercury, you might have a faster in the sixth house of health. And everyone can notice, not just Taurus, that they're breathing shallower but faster rather than slower. Anyway, so if health problems appear, remember it's a sign, and it's a sign that you're maybe not taking care of your health properly. It's not something that is imposed on you. It's not something that someone gives to you. It's not something that it's karmic for you because of this trigger of the sixth house. No, these are because health you can never buy or get it easy. Health you can only get with earned effort. It's not something, it's only something you can earn basically, and you'll be very aware of this month. And for some of you, don't even need to get sick or have complaints physically. You just say, maybe even feel aggravated because it's Mars, and say, enough, I just want to get healthy. I want to stop drinking, I want to stop smoking. And there is a huge opportunity for you to do this October for you Taurus, or just to start working out, because sixth house rules all of those things. Mercury allows you to make a good plan with that. Mars allows you to have the willpower into it, and the new moon there, and Jupiter is helping you. And it's almost, you can even do it as a way to fix your to improve your performance at work and in your achievements of work. It can be a great motivation because Jupiter is sending a trine to all those planets in your sixth house, so you can want to improve your reputation, your career performance, so you can make those health changes there. So yeah, if there's some health acute situations, immediately it's not the doctor's responsibility. It's you can only fix it. Sixth house is triggered with a change in your routine, with a change in your diet, with a change in herbal supplements or whatever. Okay, and because there is such a huge focus, as I said, if there's some, and you also might have a lot of errands to run this month. Sixth house, after all, is you might feel a little bit like being Cinderella at moments, but it is good. You might feel like cleaning more. You might feel like rearranging things more, being more organized, and this jives wonderfully. And doing the hard work, and you can, while doing the hard work behind the scenes, you would receive the, because of these two planets turning direct, you'd receive the recognition as well this month. Gradually, you'll receive the recognition, the rewards as well, the social, and maybe a higher achievement in your career. So a lot of focus for you, Taurus, on work, practical matters, fixing problems from the past, even if it's fixing something around the house, fixing some work problems, fixing something with your health. But towards the end of the month, after the 18th, all of those energies, 18th, 19th, when both Jupiter and Mercury turn retrograde and Mars starts making a trine to Jupiter, those problems and are relieved, and it's going to be much easier for you to keep a healthy uh, routines. It's going to be much easier with your career, work responsibilities and duties. You start getting rewarded for that. So there we go, Taurus. And Taurus, it's an interesting month for you. But if you want to have your specific horoscope, do check the transit calendar, which is free for 7 days. And every 7 days it renews, and it's free for the next 7 days. 50,000 people by now are using it daily because they see the specific transits like no one else in the world has them. Only you. Thank you so much.